Welcome to another episode of Go To Gilbert. I'm Rob Hundley with Asherkheim Real Estate, your Go To Gilbert guy. I'm here today with Rocky of Baxter's Games. Welcome, Rocky.
Hi, thank you.
Tell us a little bit about yourself.
So I own Baxter's Game Store here in Queen Creek. I've been around for 5 years. This is my second location that I've opened.
Tell us a little bit about the idea that you had behind Baxter's Games when you started. What are you doing here?
Yeah, so moved here back in 2016 with my wife, who is kind of native here. Well, she's a military kid, but they ended up being in Arizona the last 9 years of her life. And then when we got married, she moved to California with me. And speaking of expensive, I mean, California,
Oh man, yeah.
We had a 1-bedroom apartment. It was $1,500 a month. And so when she got pregnant with our first son, every time I would come out to Arizona, her dad would be like, hey, let's look at the apartments. Or not apartments, at the houses.
Uh-huh.
And we found a 4-bedroom, 2-story house for $800 mortgage a month.
Wow.
Compared to $1,500, right?
Yeah.
So we moved out here. Now these days, it's really expensive.
Yeah.
So we got really lucky and blessed that we found that during that time. So I was a cop in California. Actually, I worked with LAPD. And when we moved out here, I lateraled over to the Pinell County Sheriff's Office.
Okay.
And because I had a son, my wife didn't want me on the streets anymore, so I was a dispatcher.
Mm-hmm.
And so for a year, I was doing that. But during that year, it wasn't really the same as, being out on the streets and being a cop. And so I was thinking to myself, I want to do something good for the community in terms of hobbies. So my background, hobbies are really important. Because it keeps you out of trouble. It has you doing something creative and something that you could do with your hands. In these terms, you're looking at my models and figures, building, painting, but even playing the card games I have. You're using good mental energy in a productive way. And there was nothing out here in the Queen Creek area that had that. So while I was being a dispatcher, I would always just be dreaming, what if I opened my own game store, and I brought that to the community, to have the kids not go to drugs, not go to petty theft, just, stupid things that kids do,
right,
where they could come and to kind of like a social gathering, a game store.
Yeah.
And I could teach them how to play, and then they could, instead of focusing on doing anything dumb out in the world, they could focus on beating their opponent and being productive.
Right. Tell us a little bit about your customer base. Have you gotten those kids that you were kind of targeting?
Yes. So it's funny because sometimes, if I'm having a bad day, and because customer base, there's a lot of different spectrum of customer base, because you could have someone that comes in here and they just weren't impressed and they give you a 1-star review because for whatever reason, right? But those days where that has happened, I've had a mom come in, and this literally happened the same day. So I remember a customer came in, they got upset because they thought something was discounted, but it was like past that time of discount.
Yeah.
And so they left, and they left a 1-star review. And then later that day, a mom came in, and she was like, hey, I want to thank you so much. My son has been coming here. He had no friends at school, and he would just go to his room, and I always wanted him to, be social and stuff. And then I dropped him off here one day, and now he has his friends here, and he plays here every Friday. And she thanked me, and she even started kind of tearing up and crying a little bit because he was about to go on his mission. He is Mormon, and so she was thanking me for the 4 years that he's been here, and now he's going off and being an adult now.
Yeah.
And she was like, I always prayed for something like you to happen, and so that was very heartwarming. And then that's where I'm like, okay, that's good. Also, I have a lot of customers that are in high school and college that do come here and they meet with their friends, and a lot of people make friends here and they meet people. So we have a lot of clients, but honestly, I have people not only that are kids in junior high school, and stuff like that. A lot of college, but I have people my age. I'm 34. That come in here and to also do their hobby, because you got to have your own personal time when you do stuff fun.
Right.
And then I have a guy. I have some people that are 60, 70 that come here and play.
I was going to say I'm somewhere near there, and I can remember in college playing D&D and walking through here. It's like walking down memory lane and thinking, "Oh, wow, this is fast." I
had a father and son. He was like 80, and his son was in his 60s. They were here playing Friday Night Magic every Friday.
Wow.
Yeah, and wow. I mean, I have some war gamers. I have guys that play World War II wargaming, and they're like 70.
Wow.
And then they come here about twice a month.
Well, strategy and tactics are always there, and it's always a part. And again, it's sort of how you use your mental, your creative energy, and channel it in those.
It keeps you young too. I mean, you do that, or you're just kind of sitting at home.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. With everything that's gone on the past year, have you seen more of a need?
So what's speaking specifically to COVID?
Yeah.
So it's really funny when COVID first started. What was it, like almost 2 years ago or whatever it was? Mm-hmm. This industry took a huge hit for like the first 3 months because people thought like, hey, the world's ending, the pandemic's happening, and when it comes to entertainment and hobbies, those all go first because everyone was at that time trying to get toilet paper and water.
Right.
And
Exactly.
So this was last resort. So during that time, I actually tried to save money. I did crazy sales so I could have enough to stay open for 3 months in case it just died out. Mm-hmm. But then what happened was people started getting stimulus checks. Mm-hmm. And then the people that already had their job that got a stimulus check, it was now extra money. So now with extra money, what people do, or what it shows, it goes to entertainment.
Yeah.
So people were at home and they were like, oh, magic cards. Or people my age that play Pokemon when we were in junior high now, kids, and now they're all at home and they're like, oh, I remember Pokemon. Yeah, let's go get it. So there was a huge surge for collectibles and cards and this Warhammer stuff because everyone was at home now.
Yeah.
And they all needed to do something. So for about a year, it was really, really good if you had a game store from before because, I think we like tripled our sales.
Nice. Rocky, tell us, when you're not gaming, when you're not running the business, what do you like to do here in the East Valley and this part of the country?
Well, so I do have 4 kids.
Okay.
So, and we go to like the local farms and stuff. They run events. I do fun stuff like that with my family. We're very involved with church, so we help out with a lot of like harvest festivals and just fun activities that we do there. But I also do continue to play these games because I do have a passion for the games and everything. And so that's what we do, or what I do outside of here, just a lot of family stuff and helping out with the community still and stuff like that. Can I add one more thing?
Sure. Oh, no, that's fine.
Yeah. You're fine. You can walk through. So also I did want to mention, I do have plans though for this place. I am going to build a gaming castle. So I have it's a pretty big dream, but 20,000 square feet, and where we have individual stores within the castle. Kind of like how you saw in my store, I have the different sections that are separated with their own experts. And
well, that's it for this episode of Go To Gilbert. I'm Rob Hundley with Asher Keim Real Estate, your Go To Gilbert guy. Thanks again, Rocky and Baxter's Games down here in Queen Creek. We'll see you next time. Goodbye.